Okay, so it's Tuesday, the 12th of March, and there's some new changes today. There's no 10.26, unfortunately, otherwise I'd already be in the game. So there's some Season 4 changes. You can see right here they posted a blue post about it. Unfortunately, it's too complicated. Some people can't understand it clearly, or there's like a 10-minute video online everywhere just explaining it. It's not that complicated. I'll make a video right now and show you. I made a chart. I'm gonna explain as quick as I can. That doesn't need to be a 10-minute video on this. It's pretty simple. So, what's going to happen in Season 4 is heroic dungeons are going to be equal to a Mythic plus 5. Essentially, Mythic plus 1. Actually, sorry, Mythic plus 2 to 5. They don't exist anymore. It's now heroic dungeons. And the good news is they're spammable now. There's a daily logout, unfortunately, but that's only for pre-mates. You can just keep queuing and over, and you can just get what you need. And because it's not part of the Mythic Plus, dungeons, technically, there's no timers, there's no affix, there's no ad count, so you can just run through the dungeon, hit the bosses, and just ignore the ads completely. So when Season 4 starts, this is probably the easiest way to just get your gear, get started, and just hop into Mythic Plus dungeons. Now, they do drop item level 476 gear, that's Adventurer level 4 out of 8. So that means, I think you can use Welpling Crest for this, to upgrade all the way to 8 out of 8, but Whelpling Crest now only drop in outdoor world content. You can't drop it. They don't drop in Mythic Plus anymore because, like I said, Mythic Plus 10 and below don't exist anymore. It's now Heroic Dungeons and Mythic Dungeons, the regular Mythic Dungeons. Now, Heroic Dungeons do drop at item level 489 for the Great Vault. It is Veteran 4 out of 8, so I think that's still upgradable with Whelping Crest. There's a whole graphic here that Blizzard put out. I just copied and pasted in the pink because why not? Now there's a Mythic Dungeons are now Mythic plus 9. So essentially they just made everything harder and renamed it. Like according to this graphic over here, Heroic's now Mythic 0, technically, but it's a difficulty of a level 5 Mythic Plus dungeon. Mythic plus 9 is now Mythic Dungeons with the difficulty of a plus 9-ish. They said it's around 10. So it's somewhere on that level. Same concept as Heroic Dungeons. They drop higher item level gear. And this one drops Mythic Dungeons is 493. Drops Champion 1 out of 8. You can upgrade it with Drake or Wormcrest. I'm assuming up to 515. It's not clear what the maximum item level is. Same for the Mythic Plus. I mean, sorry, Heroic Dungeon final drop. So same thing. No affix, no ad count, no timer. The Great Vault drops 5 out of 6, and it's at Hero Track 1 out of 6. So you will need Wormcrest for this, all the way up to full upgrades. Unfortunately, Mythic Dungeons has that one issue they've always had. They're once a week only. They cannot be spammable. So ideally, you want to just keep spamming Heroic Dungeons. It's the same thing we've always done. It's just renamed. And that's really it. So the new Mythic Plus Dungeons, it looks complicated, but it really isn't. Essentially, what they did was they adjusted the scale from plus 2 all the way up to 10 to what is now Mythic plus 2 to plus 20, and they just condensed it. So you can see here a plus 2 would be equivalent to a plus 10 now, and a plus 5 is equal to roughly a plus 15 or plus 16 now, and then a plus 10 is equal to a plus 20 now, and then you can see what it drops here, what it gives in the Great Vault. And here's the neat thing, because everything's been condensed, the difficulty has been actually decreased. All the hard part is gearing up and getting to these things. So unless you're pushing plus 20s like you are doing now, or essentially plus 10s, you're not going to get 3 affixes anymore. You're going to get 2 for anything below a plus 10, or equivalent now 19 and below. So yeah, you don't have to deal with these affixes unless you're actually pushing high keys anymore. So that's a good thing. You don't have to deal with if you're just like me, I'm only 480 on my hunter, which is my most geared character. You essentially, I'm not pushing 20 plus keys. I don't care. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't, but for those who are, or just a casual like me, you don't have to deal with 3 affixes anymore. So afflicted is not there. Well, technically it is, but You don't want to do that and couple that with sanguine, rageful, or spiteful. I don't like those affixes put together. I think afflicted should be changed, but that's for another day. But this is essentially it. I mean, there's really nothing hard about it. It's just a simplified, renamed version of what's coming in season four and beyond. This is for the next expansion and the next expansion and the next expansion. So it's kind of dulled down to where Blizzard pretty much wants you to just spam heroic dungeons and mythic dungeons, the regular mythic dungeons. They want them to have more meaning going into progression in the seasons, but it's really nothing different than you've already done. It's just been renamed. So, for the season four map pool, the mega dungeon's gone. You don't have to deal with Murazon's Rise or Galakrond's Fall. I never really minded those dungeons personally, but I guess people hated it. So, everything except for the mega dungeon, all 8 Dragonflight dungeons that came into the expansion are going to be used for season 4. No more Legacy, no more Waycrest Manor, no more Blackrock Hole. They're all gone. So, essentially, what you want to do when season 4 starts, if you're 480 and above item level, pretty much what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to spam heroics till I get these 476 gear and then upgrade them all the way up to 489. Hope and pray I get something out from my one-time mythic dungeon that week and maybe get something good from the Great Vault. And then I'm just gonna do it till I'm 496. And then after that, I'm just gonna keep bashing my head on plus twos and plus threes, which is no different than what we're doing now. Except what we did at the beginning of the season isn't plus twos and plus threes, it's plus tens and above. Like I said, they're renamed. So nothing crazy. It's people mix people try to make this harder than it should be to understand. It's not complex. It's pretty straightforward, but it's ideally the same thing. So anyway, I'm gonna go wait for season four. I'm gonna make more videos of nonsense, and yep, when it drops, or whenever 10.2.6 drops, or whenever the hero talents drop, I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna see what they have for hunters, survival mainly, and yeah, I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.